This training video will show you how to perform a detect categories analysis using Prediction Insight. This demonstration will use the MovieClick dataset provided in the Prediction Sample Data Workbook included with the Prediction Insight for Excel installation. To get to the MovieClick table, click the MovieClick link on the introductory page of the workbook. To use the Detect Category tools, select a cell in the Customers table, switch to the Insight Now ribbon by clicking the tab at the top of the Excel window, and click on the Detect Categories task icon. In the Detect Categories dialog, most options are pre-selected for execution. Prediction Insight automatically chooses columns that appear to have interesting information for analysis. If there are specific columns you wish to include or exclude, you can adjust the selection to the set of columns you're interested in. You can also select how many result categories you want in the result, or allow Detect Categories to automatically determine a number of categories based on the data. When you have completed your selections, click the Run button to execute the Detect Categories task. When the task is complete, click the Results button in the task pane to retrieve the resulting report, or if you are running in synchronous mode, the report will automatically be created. The Detect Categories report has three sections providing analytical information. The first section contains information on how many rows of your source data appear in each category. The second section is an interactive table that is used to understand your categories, and the third section is an interactive chart that you can use to see how values are distributed across each category. Looking at the second section, Category Characteristics, we can see how different column values are important to each category. The bar length represents the importance of that factor in defining that category. To be a member of Category 1, for instance, we see that it is very important that the customer is young and also that they are renters. As we interpret the categories, we can rename them in the first section of the report. Let's rename this category Young Renters. Switching back to the source data, you can see that these labels are automatically updated in the data for direct filtering and analysis. We can interact with the category characteristics by changing the table filters. For example, many factors in the table have very low relative importance. We can hide these by adding a numeric filter to the relative importance column to only show rows with an importance greater than 15. Now the table shows only the most relevant factors. We can also switch the category we are analyzing by changing the filter on the category column. Here we can select which category descriptions to analyze, or clear the filter to select all of them. By filtering on the Columns column, we can see how a particular column is relevant to different categories. Moving down to the Category Profile section of the report, we can see column distributions across all categories. Here we see that the ages of the people in Category 1 are all less than 29, whereas the other categories have a mixture of age values. We can examine other columns by clicking through the columns on the column slicer. We can also limit the categories that are displayed by clicking on the Category slicer. You can multi-select categories and columns by pressing down the Control button on the keyboard while clicking on the category or column name. By effectively using Control-click on both slicers, we can analyze any set of columns across any set of categories. Clicking the Clear Filter button shows all items in the slicer. This concludes the training video for Detect Categories. Please visit our help and website for more training videos for Prediction Insight.